What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a World Series edition of Lindy's Leans, of Lindy's Likes, of Lindy's Locks. It's the World Series. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. I got it tangled up there. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods, my friends. There's not a whole lot to say. It's a one-game MLB slate, but there is a little bit of value. I've got a futures play for you here on an MVP. Yeah, potential MVP. It's kind of contradictory, though, to something that I have going here in this game. It's just, I think this one's going to go pretty close to the distance. Obviously, both games, or both series went the distance. Exciting game sevens. It kept me here in the MLB streets. We're going to grind it out here, nearly up 15 units here on the MLB playoffs alone. We've hit some home runs together. We've had some fun here on this program. I just wanted to keep it going here for the true diehards. And hey, in that spirit, let's just do this right from the get-go. Bet 365, friends. Bet 5, get 150 in bet credits at one of these states. If you're in one of these 6 states, it is Kentucky, brand new sports betting state. Congratulations to you. We've also got Virginia, New Jersey, Ohio, Colorado, and Iowa. You bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets. So take advantage of that in the video description box below. There's also this safety net up to $1,000 in bonus bets. You could bet something up to $1,000. You'd get that back. But again, $5 into 150 in bonus bets. That's pretty simple if you ask me. Take advantage of it. The worst you're going to be out is $5 if you sign up in the code below. So yeah, go to that link. It's only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Cool, great, grand. My friends, it's time. We've got the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Texas Rangers. I'm going to give you the ins and outs, the pitching matchups, everything I'm looking forward to in this series. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Game 1, Arlington, Texas. Zach Gallen here in the Arizona Diamondbacks. 84 wins during the regular season. What a time to be alive. Everybody's looking at that Suzuki. He drops the catch there in Atlanta. Cubs end up out of it. Somehow Arizona sneaks in. They sweep Milwaukee. They sweep the Dodgers. They win game 6 and 7 on the road. Unbelievable stuff here from the Diamondbacks. And how have they done it? They've done it by finding timely hitting. Not always hitting, because there's one guy specifically we'll talk about in the light category that doesn't really have it right now. But again, that's not, it's a very small sample size. That, you go from playing 162 baseball games to playing like best 4 of 7. That's a drastic difference and not going to encapsulate everything about a player. So looking for one guy to bounce back, but timely hitting. And this bullpen has been awesome. Specifically, Sewell hasn't given up a run in the playoffs. I will repeat that. Their closer has not given up a run in the playoffs. That's a good situation if you're the Arizona Diamondbacks. But I'm not sure if that gets to that here in game 1. And we'll talk through it here. Zach Gallen, you know by now he is one of my dudes. But the roof situation has not officially been announced. And I do expect that it's going to be closed here in this spot. And between him and Evaldi, they have a drastic difference in terms of power. And it's not that Nathan Evaldi doesn't give up power, because he gives up a 43.1% hard hit percentage, but only a 6.4 degree average launch angle, whereas Gallen on the other side, 12.3 degree average launch angle with a 46.2% hard hit percentage on the regular season with a 9.2% barrel percentage. He's had an ERA north of 5, which again, during the playoffs, ERA north of 5, it's a small sample size, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he hasn't been as sharp as some of these other arms for Arizona, and they'll be happy to turn it over if need be. If things get hairy early, they have the break still where after the first 2, you go on the road, you get that day of rest for the bullpen. Same thing. That needed to be factored in a little bit more by me before I end up locking Philadelphia there for game 6s and 7s. We could have been up 18, 19, 20 units. We could have been contenders, but no, we're up just shy of 15, and that is okay. We're not going to go completely berserk here in this spot, although the lock is a unit play. Want to throw that out there. But Nathan Evaldi, nice to see the velocity on the fastball there. The cutter, everything's working pretty darn nicely for him. And he gets a spot here where I don't expect a ton of Ks, and the K props look pretty efficient across the board right now as it stands. Some hit props that we're still waiting at some books. Again, why can't we get the lineups? They're waiting on the roof. That is what it comes down to. Places like DK or FanDuel, they have the bandwidth to be able to allow you, hey, you want to put $100 on this home run? It's not going to kill their bottom line at the end of the year, even if this roof is open. But that is something that a lot of books, they're protecting against. Not going to give you all of the available numbers. Plus, you do see a market difference here. You really see a market difference at Chase Field That's going to be where we really pay attention to it. But if you've watched me do single games before, here's how we do it. We go lean like lock, something I'm thinking about betting. If I were to pull a trigger on a home run prop, but again, the numbers aren't very good as I look across the board right now. Want to get those FanDuel numbers here, rocking and rolling, updated here. OddsTrapper will have them available. You can definitely find them there. But Josh Young would be the guy. He's been bottom of the order here, but we've seen some pretty big numbers here. And you look at the righty splits, what the power that Zach Gallen's given up, it's primarily been to righties. A 184 expected ISO despite a 130 actual ISO. And then it's a 163 expected ISO against lefties. So again, more expected power. And the big thing for me in terms of home runs, I really want to focus in on the righties from Texas as opposed to the lefties. And that's a weird thing to say, I know, but Adolis Garcia, those guys. Not that Corey Seager can't go yard or Evan Carter, who's been revelatory, but he has a 15.3 degree average launch angle for right-handed hitters. Just a 9-degree average launch angle against lefties. So optimal conditions for the homer coming from the right side. And Josh Young, way wild odds that we're looking at here. I don't want to be pulling the trigger on these plus 1,000 Tavares numbers we've seen across the board here lately, which are enticing because we all saw him hit that bomb off Verlander. And since then, well, not going to hit any more bombs, just saying. But Josh Young, add him to the card. Cool. I want the FanDuel numbers, though. I want better numbers. So we go to the like category, and this is the first outright that I've had from this entire playoffs. I'm putting a sprinkle, just a tiny little sprinkle, on one young man named Christian Walker. He did not have a very good series. I would say out of any batter that we would expect something from in this order, he's been the most disappointing on the Arizona side. He's their cleanup hitter. He's going to get the table set for him by Corbin Carroll, by Ketel Marte. Now, I'm not saying it's extremely likely. I do think Texas is the rightful favorites in this series. The home favorites, I do like the complexion of their bullpen, although Leclerc, Chapman, let's rein it in, boys. Let's rein it in. But offensively, they are ridiculous 1 through 9 at the moment. And if they continue to get some of this offense from Heim, from Garver, from even Tavares there batting ninth, you're looking at a spot where Christian Walker, it's more of a value play than it is me thinking that Arizona goes out and wins. So do not get this misconstrued. I still favor the Texas Rangers, but at 20-1 plus 2,000 we're looking at here in the industry for Christian Walker. That was on DK the other day for what it's worth, by the way. I bet this 2 days ago. Christian Walker, World Series MVP. He did not perform up to standard last time around. I think only 2 extra base hits that entire Philly series. Think he gets the table set enough by guys ahead of him where I have interest at this kind of a number. Way longer numbers than Carroll and Marte and guys of that nature. Plus, we've seen the David Freezes. We've seen the Eddie Rosarios. We've seen, well, not Eddie Rosario, Jorge Soler. We've seen unknowns come to prominence in these World Series and win unlikely MVPs. It all comes down to timely hitting. If he hits a bomb or two at the right time, I think that's a great number. Anywho, let's get to the lock because it's very straightforward for me. Texas, -1.5. It's going to be rock and rolling, but they're putting up so much offense right now. And Zach Gallen, he is definitely the more prone between the two right now to get hit up. Not just because Eovaldi was somebody we recognized early could go a lot longer than expected, but I mean, Zach Gallen, he doesn't even have to go that far. This could be problematic with this Texas offense. Not saying Arizona can't show out and do what they did against Philadelphia, but this is a pretty tight number that we're looking at here. I don't really think we should be getting this good a plus money here as I'm looking around the industry at this game. I just think this is a little bit wrong. Now, make sure you're doing your due diligence, that you are shopping for the best odds. But yeah, anything better than plus 130, plus 140, lock it in, move on with your lives. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays here for Game 1 of the World Series. Again, it's 1 game MLB sample sizes. Take it easy. We'll recognize bullpens. Know that the books are looking at the same numbers that we are to a certain extent, but we want to be advantageous. We want to be selective with our home run plays. Doubt we're going to get great odds on Adolis Garcia or Corey Seager this time around. Just throwing it out there. Not that I'm going to take unders on their home runs. That's just silly. But Bet365, this is a silly deal. Bet 5, get 150 in bet credits only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, go Texas in Game 1. Go Christian Walker to have a good game and then go nuts at the end of this. That would be awesome at 20-1. And then Let's have some fun. Let's watch some baseball. Jump in that premium Discord if you're so inclined. Stochastic.com/Lindy. Going to be firing up NBA bets all the live long day for the next however many months, as well as my NFL card. You can check out NFL Lindy's here on this channel as well. Until next time, friends, thank you, producer Jacob. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the World Series Game 1 streets on Friday.